Welcome back, Storm fans. I am Bryant Cook, and today we're playing Ad Nauseam Tendrils with Daze in it, thanks to our friend Tyler Carden. Tyler is a longtime supporter of this channel, and I just appreciate Tyler being a great member of the community as well. You can always find Tyler chatting about Ad Nauseam Tendrils in the Storm Discord. That link is in the description below. But this isn't anything new. Daze has been around for some time. I believe the first time I saw Daze was in 2015 in a Kai Sawatari deck list, and seen play off and on since then, usually sort of an oddball choice, but recently Tyler has picked it back up to help fight the initiative deck. Basically allows for you to cast Ponder on turn 1 and not have to immediately thought seize them. Gives you some a backdoor almost. Stops those Chalice on ones, it can hit their initiative creature, even Thalia, that sort of thing. It does not protect you from Cavern of Souls, which is a 4 of in that deck, but we're hoping that Daze can pull out or pull its weight in some other places as well. Maybe stop Blue-Red Delver from a force, whatever. We're going to see how it is today. And it does not play super well with Lion's Eye Diamond. In general, counterspells don't play well with Lion's Eye Diamond, which is why you usually don't see them in Ad Nauseam Tendrils, since Infernal Tutor forces you to go all in. Even if you cut Ad Nauseam, you can't really play Force of Will in this deck because of Lion's Eye Diamond, and just doesn't work. So that's really the idea here. Other than that, this is stock Ant. We see 1 Chromox to pair with the Ad Nauseam, and 4 Wishclaw, 4 Infernal Tutor. I'm a big fan of Tyler playing the 8 tutors, no preordains. I think it is the way to go when you build Ad Nauseam. One of my criticisms of Ant has always been that the sideboards are built to have too much redundancy, and they often play like 10 removal spells that are all slightly different. Tyler has really cleaned that up in this region. Yes, we do have 6 removal spells total between Dress Down, Echoing Truth, and Abrupt Decay, but so does the Epic Storm right now. I think that 6 is actually a very healthy number. And then we have Flusterstorm, Surgical Extraction, and Opposition, those combo matchups, and then Carpet of Flowers and 8. This is a really clean board. Once again, we're dwindling down the month, but friendly reminder, if you become a member of this channel, which you can do so by clicking the join button down below, you get access to all videos early for the rest of December. My gift for you for the holidays. Thank you to everyone that has become a member already. We're almost to our goal for the next emote. When I checked it this morning, we were 3 people away. We are 3 people away from unlocking the Rograk emote. That is what I really want out of this month. I want to be able to put my commander as an emote that I want. So I appreciate everyone that's done it so far. We're only 3 people away. As I record this, we still have 11 days left in the month. I hope we can do it. But enough of me shilling and talking about what I would like for the holidays. Let's go play some Ad Nauseam Tendrils, and thank you to Tyler once again for this donation. Okay, I will see everyone in match number 1. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. You can also show your support by becoming a member of this channel. You get sweet perks such as badges, emotes, exclusive members only content, and access to our members Discord section. As you increase the tiers, there are other rewards such as shop discounts, sideboard guides, early access to videos, and even free donation decks. Click the join button down below to find out more. We also have other ways you can support us, such as theepicstorm.com/shop or submitting a donation deck via theepicstorm.com/donation decks. That's enough for now. Let's play some Magic. Time for the first match. We are on the draw. I have no idea what our opponent's playing, but this is just not a keep. No mana sources whatsoever. And this might be the most Ant hand I've ever seen. 3 lands, a cantrip, redundant mana. This is exactly what the deck looks to do. Basic lands at that. We're going to keep. We have our 2 beautiful invasion basics. I've used these my entire life. Just a huge fan. Invasion was my first. We're going to put back the Underground Sea. I think I'd rather have Lotus Petal in case your opponent's on a combo deck. Scalding Tarn and their Delta. I'm going to just posture and play an Island and Pass. I really don't want to play this Ponder into a Daze or Pyroblast. Play an Underground Sea. They could be Doomsday. They could also be like some sort of Grixis back. Another Ponder. Let's try this. We have Daze. I think we're supposed to take that. And I'm going to pass the turn. If they are Doomsday, we have the Tendrils on top. They cast an instant Brainstorm. Our opponent uses Scalding Tarn. So they're in fact Grixis. And it doesn't appear to be Doomsday. At least not right now. Aggressive iteration. I'm going to let that happen. They find another ponder, they're going to fetch. I think I might actually want this tendril on top of my deck. Our opponent's already at 18. Our opponent's passing back. This is sending me weird vibes. I can't help but wonder if this is like the tempo Doomsday deck that Samantha Murphy's. We'll pass. I believe we didn't want the last card. So we'll fetch before I draw that. There's a Dragon's Rage. Here they do not fetch. They surveil a Murktide region. Just Grixis? Their channeler is now Delirious. Like I mentioned, they're at 18. We have Tendrils in hand. We're not terribly far away from just like natural Tendrils for lethal. Take a draw here. That's 7. I'm going to pass for now. 17. You'll love to see it. Mystic Sync. Getting back Expressive Iteration. They iterate. Prevails away a Misty. Included Delta. So we're going to go to 16. Spell. Draw Thoughtseize. That's actually pretty good. Let's start on Pond. Interest. Don't really know how I want to do this. I believe I'm supposed to draw the Brainstorm. Play out Lotus Petal. Play out Lotus Petal. What's Thoughtseize? They're going to fetch. Hardcast Force and Negation. Let's see it. I would love that because then I can Daze, and they do. So I'm going to be able to replay this island this turn. This Daze is super good here. The Force of Negation is countered by Daze. They have a Force of Will, second Force of Will, and a Bolt. We have 5 cards in graveyard. We'll sacrifice this for black, Cabal Ritual. If they Force of Will this, we still have this other Cabal Ritual. This doesn't really matter. They do cast the Force, we'll allow that. They pitched a Delver. Show them the other Cabal Ritual. Tendrils of Agony. Boom. Alright, Tyler, you're a genius. We all should have known that Daze was the perfect card for Ad Nauseam Tendrils in 2015. And I don't know what else. It looked pretty good here. Alright, so we're going into game number 2 versus Grixis Delver. I still think I like Carpet here. I like the Ave as well. We could probably get rid of this Ad Nauseam. And now we need to find 2 cards to come out. You could probably get rid of a Chrome Mox. And our opponent's seen Daze, so I'm kind of tempted to get rid of these as well. And then we can also board in Abrupt Decay, not only to kill Delvers and Channelers, but also Maddening Axe. Like, our opponent saw the Daze, so they're super likely to play around it. I feel like it's already done its day. Game 2. Keep. Having double Veil of Summer versus the blue deck, always great, but even better when we saw black out of our opponent. It could mean Thoughtseize would be even better on the play, but can't always have everything. They lead off with a turn 1 Ponder. They do not shuffle on the Ponder. Play Misty, pass. Underground Sea into Ponder, sure thing. We still don't actually know what the black is for yet. Once again, our opponent does not shuffle. The Cabal Ritual. Pass the turn. Aggressive Iteration. I'm going to respond here and cast Brainstorm off a basic eye. Because they can't Pyroblast and it's a pretty good spot for us. We'll put back double Cabal Ritual. Iteration happens. I find another Volcanic Island. I'm going to go get the basic Swamp here. I know that I'm sitting on double Veil of Summer. I just don't think I can really afford to get wasted. Decent draw. Our mana's a tiny bit awkward. So we're just going to play out the Petal so that way we can cast Veil of Summer. Pass the turn. 3rd copy of Volcanic Island. That's a Delver's Secrets. They still have 6 cards in it. Attempt to Brainstorm. This is kind of a juicy Pyroblast target for them, and they do have it here. I could try to Veil. It's just not likely to work. I'm going to try to Veil of Summer. See if they counter by, or play a counter spell. They could let it resolve. The Veil doesn't draw a card, but if the Brainstorm hits, they're dead. They Force Will pitching Murktide. Okay. Delver Secrets triggered. flips to a Daze. They play a Wasteland, so they have Daze and 2 unknowns in it. Draw for turn. It's Ponder. Cast it. These are all very good. Play the Delta, we'll pass the turn. We'll take 3 off the Insectile Aberration. It's no longer a Delver or Secret, so we go to 12 life. Use the Polluted Delta. Search up Bayou, I guess. Let's just lead on the Veil. Let's see what happens. Force of Will, pitching D. They have 2 unknowns in hand. Firm is 2. I could put them to 1. No, I can't put them to 1. So I could go for a Flashback Past and Flames win, but I'm dead to another Force, or Force of Negation. I think I'm going to wait it out. See if they use that Wasteland. Because if they don't use Wasteland, it's a definite sign that they have a 3rd Force of Will. They don't. So now we go to 8. Like, I could have won by... So, like, you might be thinking, Bryant, you have the win. What are you doing? So now I have to go because this Misty represents another... But I could have Flashback Past and Flames last turn. I was trying to beat them having another Force. So that was my game. Dark Ritual. Like, I could make red with the Lion's Eye Diamond, discard my hand, and flashback. It's just like, is that really the best line? That's what I was trying to figure out. Ponder, floating 8 black. Okay. Play the diamond. Let's go fetch up a red source. We can double Past and Flame, assuming that our opponent doesn't have Force in a game. Past and Flame. They're fetching. So they did not get Mystic Sanctuary here. This looks like it's hardcast Force of Will. Okay. Unless their last card in hand is Surgical, I believe we have it. So we'll make 3 red, flashback the Past and Flame. Okay, great. It is Daze. We will gladly pay for Daze. Our opponent says GG's opponent. Dark Ritual. Dark Ritual. Cabal Ritual. 13 Drills of Agony. He did it. Alright, so we got match number 1. I think I don't know what it was, but I had a feeling based on how they played this that they actually had a 3rd Force, and they did. There's no way to prove that they had it when I thought that they did, but the play pattern allowed me to believe that they did. So I'm glad that I sat and waited and was a little bit more disciplined. You could get anxious and just jam there, but I feel like when you're playing Ad Nauseam Tendrils, you have the longevity and a lot of blue matchups, and we sort of got to flex her mode. Even without the green sideboard cards like Carpet of Flowers. No slime time in this round, but I'll take a W. Match number 2 coming up. Moxfield.com is the easiest way to build a Magic deck online. They support over 30 formats, including Legacy and many other Eternal formats. There are so many options to view decks the way that you want, from text view to individual cards, mana value, and even card price. There's also light mode and dark mode. My personal favorite feature is card tags. This way you can sort cards by function. Moxfield supports collection tracking, Scryfall search, decklist feedback, and so much more. Follow me on Moxfield.com so you can stay updated on all of my decks. Round number 2 on the play with Daze Ant. Speaking of which, we have the Nemesis common in our hand. Pretty sweet. I don't actually know how good this is, but I'm going to keep it. There's some natural friction between Wishclaw Talisman and Past and that is a downside to not playing the build with 4 Preordain. That said, Wishclaw Talisman in a vacuum, I believe, is a much stronger card. Carpet of Flowers. Okay. I will sit with my polluted deltas on. Sorry, losing my voice a little bit. And fetch. We'll grab a basic swamp. Thought sees my opponent. They're on bug. Interesting that they chose the turn 1 carpet over turn 1 Thoughtseize. Also birds appear. In a non-Yorian deck. Okay. We will pass the turn. They play an Underground Sea. To ponder. Sure thing. I have to imagine that they're going to play their white-bordered Birds of Paradise after this resolves, but we'll find out. They did not shuffle. There's Hansen. Bop. Not going to Daze a bird. Take a draw on its Lotus Petal. Pretty good. They might just be like, this is probably Allurant. Play out the diamond. I want to see if they'll fold. It looks like they're F6, so that's kind of unfortunate. Play the Wish Claw. Pass the turn. They get 1 mana off the carpet, and then they have 1 mana off birds and a land drop. Even if they had a Lurin and a Baleful Strix here, the Daze will not counter it. I guess I didn't have to play the Volcanic, but with Wish Claw, hear me out. The best thing you can do with it is Ad Nauseam. If I'm holding my land drops, it kind of punishes them. They are, in fact, a Lurin. So I get punished by holding onto the land, and I don't want to do that. I think I'm actually going to Daze. They could have a Force of Will in hand because they kept off the Ponder, but I can't use this Daze in conjunction with the LED anyway. Let's fetch. Grab Bayou so that way we're not giving them another blue source. Is there a win here that beats them having Force in hand? So the line that I see is 1 mana short. So we have 4 mana sources, not including the mana off diamond. So we could cast Bats and Flames, Flashback, Thoughtseize, and then we have 5 mana floating. That puts us 1 short of Ad Nauseam. So I think I have to accept if they have it. We're just going to go get the namesake of the deck, put it on the stack. It resolves. So you might be saying, Bryant, you could sacrifice the Lion's Eye Diamond. I'm aware of how Magic works. I say that jokingly, but the real thing is we want to save that Lion's Eye Diamond for the mana for the flashback on path. 6 life. 5 life, we can there. A couple videos ago, I was playing this deck and completely forgot that there was an 8th Progenitor Ooze in my... Just completely didn't enter my mind, and I flipped it to Ad Nauseam in 5-0. So every time I play this deck now, I'm a little bit more cautious of what I can and cannot do. Play the Wish Claw. We'll cast Ponder for Storm. We'll take... We've already played a land. We will sacrifice the Lion's Eye Diamond. Blue mana. Infernal Tutor. Grabbing Tendrils of Ag. Cast it, targeting the opponent. Storm 11. Okay, so we picked up game number 1 over a Lurin. Admittedly, I don't really know how to board in this match. I don't know how good Fluster is versus the deck trying to resolve a 4-mana enchantment. I think you could probably afford to take out the Chroma. Probably want like Dress Down. Try 2 Dress Down, and I want to keep in the date. I'm going to try shaving a highly interactive hand, no payoff. Ant players will be cringing everywhere. I am keeping this. I think it goes back to the philosophy of the Epic Storm, where at least in TES, you're roughly 34% to draw an action spell every turn. Ant typically has a higher redundancy due to more cantrips. Tyler's List not playing Preordain, but there's still 4 Infernal Tutor, 4 Wish Claw, Brainstorm, Pond. It actually probably is that 34%. Cast the Thoughts. Take the Brainstorm, leaving them with Bird, Uro. Play out the Lotus Petal. Pass the turn. We did see Thoughtseize in their deck, so I want to have Veil of Summer. The white scares me. It makes me think that maybe I was supposed to bring in a Abrupt Decay, because if they play a Deafening Silence, I'm just lying. They play the basic. Drew Needle for it. Not bad. It shuts off Wishclaw Tails. That's what they name. And the white border bird is back. Another Veil. Pass the turn. Pretty sure I'm going to cycle a Veil Summer if or when they play the Tropical. So they have Uro is the lone card in there. Triggers. Game 3. To Ponder. Pretty darn good. They shuffled on the Ponder. Cycle Veil. I think I'm going to sit on this other Veil Summer. I don't really want to burn. Take a draw. Hit the Dress Down. So this Dress Down could have been Abrupt Decay, which could answer Needle, but instead I boarded in Dress Down to stop their combo. We'll see if that pays in. Our opponent's Carpet not making any mana doesn't really matter at this point. They already have 5 mana. We drew Ad Nauseam. Wow. We have 1 card. I'm going to lead on the Veil of Summer, because if I lead on Veil of Summer, I can sacrifice my Lion's Eye Diamond for... Okay. Ad Nauseam. Sacrifice for black. Once again, Wishclaw Talisman is shut off. We're at 8. Okay. There's Diamond. That was good. We're at 6. This was not a great Ad Nauseam. Like, it's going to be good enough to win, but it could have been a lot better. Okay. Play out the Diamond. I guess I could have Infernal Tutored for... because we need more Storm in order. I could have done this better. This is actually kind of sloppy. So, brings us down to 3. And then Infernal Tutor 10. Not that this way can't win. It's just this could have been better. That's all. Grab the Tendril. And cast it. 26 left. Duo. No Dazes this round, but Ant was good enough. Looking to make playing your favorite combo deck much easier? Look no further than the Epic Storm Mini Token Combo Pack, which is available at theepicstorm.com/shop for $14.99. This combo token pack comes with 84 double-sided tokens. That includes our classic Storm and Mana tokens, as well as fan favorites such as Goblins, Squirrels, and Slime Time Live. But that's not all. We've expanded this token pack to cover a variety of formats with new tokens. Stop on by theepicstorm.com/shop and make an easy decision to elevate your combo game. Round number 3, we're facing Utopia Mycon, who typically plays a lot of, and I don't say this as an insult, but bug mid-range piles. Everything from like bug ninjas to all sorts of like bug Aether Vial decks. That's usually what they play. This hand, I think, is a little bit of a trap. You're so far away from Ad Nauseam. There's too much protection. This is a lot better. We will keep. Get rid of the Infernal Tutor. I kind of wish that I had a Veil of Summer in there. I'm going to play out the Volcanic Island and Lotus Petal. It seems a little bit weird because I'm playing directly in a Wasteland, but I want to be able to brainstorm in response to a discard spell, and if I brainstorm, I want Misty Rainforest available. I can also have Daze available for a discard spell. Basically, I just want to maximize this. They play Verdant, so I'm rewarded for them not Wasteland. Underground Sea. Fall Thick. Brainstorm in response. It resolves! But we don't have Ad Nauseam. Or, well, we don't have Dark Ritual or anything to accelerate it. So here's the thing. I am going to want to be able to fetch Pond. We probably want to get rid of one card. I think it's supposed to be the Lotus Petal. If they name either of these 3 cards, you're a better player than I am. If you want to name the one of Ad Nauseam, feel free. They name Lion's Eye Diamond. Now they're passing the turn. I wonder if the Cabal Therapy is just like a random card or if it's tied to Veteran Explorer. Going to fetch. Getting rid of the Lotus Petal, which would be mana source number 4. But hopefully we can just find like a Cabal Ritual or a Dark Ritual. Sure. You got it. So they have Hogak and Uro. We'll ponder. Don't help me get to Ad Nauseam. So I'm going to another Thoughtseize. Misty Rainforest. So they still have one unknown card at the moment. Dryad Arbor. Okay. Solid play. I wasn't thinking about the flashback. So we just lost the Ad Nauseam. So shuffling on that ponder, not ideal at this point. I just wasn't thinking about Dryad Arbor. Pass the turn. Okay. Good draw. We were never going to cast that at. So far away. Another Verdant Cat. Will allow Uro to have... There's no point in dazing the... They did not have a land to put onto the back. So they have Hogak and 3 unknown. Pass the turn. Even if we drew an Infernal Tutor, Ad Nauseam's in the graveyard and we're so far away from Past and Flames winning. Sorry, I did not mean to hit my mic. I actually care about this. We have 2 creature. I don't like Crystal. I just don't believe that's what this matchup is about. Get Dark Ritual. So now an Infernal Tutor, I believe, would win. They had another Cabal Therapy. Wow. That hurts my feelings. To Hogak. I guess I could have dazed the Grist to slow down Hogak. That wasn't something I was thinking about. On deck. 9 power on this. Try to save some mana here. Cast the Thoughtseize this turn. It doesn't change the clock. They have 9 power on board anyway. Take the Force of... I guess they had a second grit. Take the Force. They play the Ice Fang. They have Grist and then one other unknown in hand that they just drew off Ice. They're going to go to their draw steps. 3 total unknown. Now they're attacking for 10. So I'm going to go to 5. We can mini Tendrils to go to 11. Collector. That's pretty annoying. Yep. I feel like this game got away. Okay, so we're going to get our first game loss, and then we can go to the sideboard. I think this game really came down to not thinking about the possibility of Dryad Arbor and shuffling on that pond. It seemed really minor at the moment, but maybe I was supposed to just pivot off the Ad Nauseam. Not really sure. We're facing this random bug mid-range deck. I don't think we want the Chrome Moxen. Let's take out the Dazes. Didn't mean to board out the Veil. We likely want Abrupt Decay for those collectors. We want the Ave to beat Veil of Summer. I think Carpet's going to be fine. Their deck seemed to hit a lot of land. That's 61. I want Echoing Truth against them. In my experience, this person has usually had some pretty wonky sideboard cards. So you could board in Dress Downs, but I don't think that's going to cover the scope of what this person has. That brings us to... I'm going to board out the Ad Nauseam. Probably shave at least one copy of... Maybe a Lotus Petal when we have Carpet of Flowers. Those cards matter a lot less when we don't have Ad Nauseam. So we're on the play this time. It's like a very reasonable. They kept 7. We're going to lead off on Bayou into Thoughts. Take the opposition agent. I could also just look to try to win before the agent comes down. That might be the... Take the Therapy. Burning Catacombs. Or a Bayou. They do another Therapy. Yeah, you got me. That hurts. Yep. Awkward. Good draw. I can't afford to hold this up. We're just too far away. Play the Wish Claw, pass. They're likely to play Ice Fang and flashback a Cabal Therapy. They're hitting my dark. Play the Bird instead. Are you gonna double sacrifice here with the Dryad Arbor? Otherwise, I think you're supposed to play the Ice Fang. Fetch with the Verdant. Main phase Brain. They sacrifice the Bird. Cabal Therapy, do you name Dark Ritual or Cabal Ritual? They name Dark Ritual. So I'm 3 cards away from Threshold. Good draw. Another Dark Ritual. So Dark Ritual is 5. Veil Summer 6. Cabal Ritual will not count itself in the graveyard. So do I risk our opponent having land 3? It did just resolve a Brainstorm. I think what I'm going to do is just go get the Ad Nauseam. Oh, I forgot I boarded out Ad Naus. Oh my. Ad Naus is actually what we want here. Well, I'm glad I activated it now. This is really awkward. Wow. These. I think I'm supposed to get the Past Influence. Really weird because the Infernal Tutor in the graveyard is our tutor effect. And they have an opposition agent. They did not shuffle and they found land 3. They're going to pass the turn. Really want a red source here. Okay, so Dark Ritual, Cabal Ritual. This do. It might grab a red source. Dark Ritual, Veil of Summer, Cabal Ritual, Past in Flames, Storm 4. They flash in an Ice Fang. They have Endurance. They got me. It happens. This was a rough one. Okay, we are now 2-1. If you're still watching, make sure to give this video a like, comment, and subscribe. While you're near the description, here's a reminder to use our affiliate links if you're going to make a purchase from Amazon, Card Hoarder, or TCG Player. Just above those affiliate links, you'll find our social channels. Make sure to join those to connect with us. Round 4. Okay, sorry, it's getting kind of late as I record. We're on the draw against our friend Shutek, who's a contributor to this channel. They've also lent me cards in the past when the deck that I'm trying to play that's a donation deck goes over the loan account amount that I have. Shutek has always been there to loan me the really expensive stuff, and I appreciate that. Here we're on the draw. They usually play elves. I don't know why, but I'm willing to bet here that they're on Cephalid Breck. They love their creature. Pretty sure we're dead. I mean, I kept this hand because it had Ad Nauseam and a ritual in it, hoping to get a little bit lucky. Volcanic Island's strange. Okay, so maybe it's not Cephalid. I would prefer not Cephalid. Here we have Daze with a pair of swamps. That's just good deck building. Tyler, take notes. Maybe less swamps in your deck and some more islands. Am I supposed to play out the Lotus Petal? Aggressive iteration. Find a snow-covered island for land number 3. I need to draw like a brainstorm. That's what I really need. Ding! Lotus Petal. Now it's brainstorming to the nuts. Hiya. Pretty good, pretty good. What are we going to do with it? I think we put back the tendrils. I don't think we need 2 copies of diamond. We'll get rid of that. Fetch. Volcanic. Brainstorm again. Storm 3. Little bit weird. I guess next turn I have Ad Nauseam with double Daze backup. Let's pass the turn. Hopefully they tap out next turn. That would be ideal. I don't think I've ever realized this before, but Ad Nauseam is incredibly tough to cast in this deck. Like, you don't have that much mana outside of, like, your big rituals. And until Cabal Ritual has Threshold, it's not that helpful. It just seems like there's been a couple games in a row where I've struggled to cast Ad Nauseam itself. We're in a weird spot. So I can put Ad Nauseam on the stack, but they have 3 open mana for Daze. I think we're going to pass instead. They use the Misty. They do not get a what is it called? The Sanctuary for expressive iteration. They're on what Brian Koval would only call Hot Band. Can have a boo. 4/4 Haze Tramp. So you might be saying, why wouldn't I Daze this? I don't think the game is actually about boo. That is why. Cabal Ritual. Ad Nauseam. Our opponent casts a force pitching dress down. We will Daze. Pick up the island. 5 cards in our opponent's hand. Shutek just told us that they like our play. I appreciate it. Shutek is such a nice player. We flip the Infernal Tutor. Infernal Tutor. Jeez. Funk much? And another Cabal Ritual. We'll stop. I'm trying to remember if there's another 5 in the Ave is in the sideboard. I can flip one more. We'll stop there. Tap, take a draw. Chrome Mox. That is helpful here. We'll play out the Chrome Mox and print one of these redundant. Cast it. Infernal Tutor. Feel a diamond. Play another diamond. They're at 18. Get a Dark Ritual. Play a Wish Claw. I'm going to put Past and Flames on the stack, and then we'll add green black. If they try to force a will this, we can Wish Claw for Veil of Sun. And it just results. Play another Cabal Ritual. Cabal Ritual. Storm is 9. We will Infernal Tutor. Storm 10, and we will go grab the Tendrils of Act. We've taken game number 1 over Hot Band. Not Cephalid Breakfast, and not my guess. Shutek has moved away from creature combo. They've graduated to only decks that Brian Koval would play. We should be ashamed. Okay, so Hot Band. Eve has to be pretty good. I don't really know what Brian plays in his sideboard these days regarding like Storm Hate. I'm going to bring in some of Daze. Maybe some Carpets. Oh. I know that some Storm players like Flusterstorm in the matchup. I've never found that like their important cards are counterable. So I'm not a huge fan of that. Part of me wonders if we should try to move away from Past and Flames in the post-board games to get around their graveyard hate. So that way we have 2 ways of winning without the graveyard. Yes, having a 5 in your deck kind of stinks, but I think this is worth it. 63, board out a Cabal Ritual. Really want to board out Lotus Petal though. I feel like they're not going to play into Daze. We'll do 1 Fluster. Submit. 5 lands, Ponder Dark Ritual. This is, in fact, an Ad Nauseam Tendril. I think you're actually supposed to keep this. I know that it seems wrong, but with Ant, most of what you want to do is just hit your land. The Rainforest. I'm not going to play the Ponder into Pyroblast. I've played Magic before. Pass the turn. A lot of Legacy players just like, they feel what I can only describe as like anxiety about waiting too long, and then they jump the gun on playing something like a Ponder into the like pretty like well-known piece of interaction that like Pyroblast is so popular in the format right. People just like they get nervous and then they directly play it when they can just like be a little bit more right here. Our opponent just gave us a spot to resolve this break. Grab the basic. We could grab a non-basic, but if they try to get us with like a back to basics, I refuse that. We'll put back 2. You might be saying, why would you put back 2 lands? Well, it may not be obvious, but we have 2 green sources here, and we can fetch a tropical, which would be 3. If I accidentally draw a Peruse, I want to be able to play Wasteland. I guess there's also that. Me accidentally making the right play never happened to me in life. All my decisions are okay. We draw another Delta. Let's cast this. Find something. Is Abrupt Decay better than a random? Don't know. I think I'm going to keep the Decay. I'm going to choose to play a little bit conservative. Burrow, Titan of Nature's. So the Wasteland play would tell me that they're light on land. Let's see if that remains. Play Volk, okay. They do have a land drop this. So this is their last land. Fetch. Grab. Underground Sea. Because if this gets wasted, I don't care. Take a draw. That's awkward. I think I'm going to play the Delta and just pass. So the weird thing about this is I wanted to brainstorm there. Our opponent has Pyroblast up. You might be saying, well, you have Veil of Summer. In order to make the Veil work, I have to sacrifice the Lotus Petal. That means also playing out the Lotus Petal and not putting it back. So they waste the Underground Sea. Away from the Loam, getting back Misty Waste. Once again, they're leaving up Pyro. Okay. Cabal Ritual. Try to resolve this, I guess. And it does resolve. But then we find nothing off. That was not very good. Pass back. I kept the Lotus Petal instead of the Underground Sea because I want a green source for the summer through the Wasteland. So goodbye, Bayou. Yep. I could have floated a green there, but our opponent already showed us that they're willing to switch phases. So I'm not going to waste my time. Grab another Underground Sea. I could grab the Trop, but we're under Wasteland lock, so I want to keep it in the deck. A bit weird. See if we can draw out a counterspell with this Cabal Ritual. Not. Pass the turn. Sometimes just casting a spell like Cabal Ritual as a duress can be really, really effective. Here, our opponent didn't take the bait. That happens sometimes. They did not dredge life from the. They have 6 in hand. We rope-a-dope them. We have 8. I'm going to pass and discard the Abrupt. Brainstorm. Discard the Decay. They go to 21. They pick up a Tundra. Now they're back at 20. Mystic Sanctuary. They cast the Ponder. They put back off Mystic Sanctuary. When this resolves, they will have 7 in hand. They do not shuffle on the Ponder. Wasteland's back. Goodbye Underground. Technically a different Wasteland. It wasn't really back. It was back to destroying our land. Another copy of Thoughtseize. Let's play out Lotus Petal. Dark Ritual. Dark Ritual. Thoughtseize. We want them to interact. Let's try to Veil here. We want them to counter this. Like, we don't actually want our spells. Okay. Thoughtseize again. I think this just doesn't matter. Tendrils for lethal. They do have Force of Will blue card in hand. But if they Force of Will, they will go to 18 life. So it doesn't do anything. We got there. 3-1. Really got to bully the blue deck here. Drawing Tendrils of Agony was okay. I know that in our Epic Storm videos, I talk about how trash this card is all the time, and I hate drawing it. But in this instance, it was acceptable. I will admit that it was decent. Round 5 is about to come up. With Card Hoarder, renting your favorite combo deck has never been easier. There isn't a more affordable solution for Magic Online. Want to play the deck in this video? Check out the pinned comment below to easily rent the deck from Card Hoarder. Did you know you can rent the Epic Storm from Card Hoarder for as little as 7 tickets a week? We've made it simple to do so by including a button to rent the entire deck at theepicstorm.com/decklist. The fifth and final round, we are on the play with Daze, and thank you once again to Tyler Carden. Tendrils of Agony, back to sucking. Blocking your Infernal Tutor, which is really awkward. Just going to mull. This hand is way better. With the Wish Claw on the bottom. A lot of Ant players don't like just jamming. 5 cards here tells me that it could be Initiative, it could be Reanimator, it could also just be a Delver deck that mulligan to a... I'm going to choose to get Underground Sea here and Ponder. Looking for a discard spell. This is really awkward. Guess we're supposed to keep this. I mean, this is why Daze is in the deck, but it doesn't protect our Infernal Tutor. But what it does do is if our opponent plays a Chalice of the Void, we can stop that. Scalding Tarn Path. Do not like that. I mean, what am I going to do? Not go for it? I mean, we have another Infernal Tutor on top. Our opponent activates their Scalding Tarn. Brainstorm in response. Dark Ritual. Resolved. Lion's Eye Diamond. Lion's Eye Diamond. Am I allowed to have a Cabal Ritual? Alright, so Daze was not actually a protection spell. Black. Red. If I get forced, it's kind of a feel bad. And our opponent can see. So I could have gone for it on turn 1, it just didn't matter. Alright, so we're facing Delver. We want the green card. Pretty much how this works. Board out the Chrome Mox. Our opponent just saw D. I think we could probably get rid of that. It brings us to 61. Let's try boarding out the Ad Nauseam. Our opponent has mulliganed to 6. We will try this. Alright, our opponent has kept their 6-card hand. I would really like another fetch land so that way we can avoid Wasteland a little bit. Our hand needs 4 colors in order to... We're sort of stressed. We lead off on Steam. This is definitely a spot where we want to try to resolve Ponder before they have Pyroblast up. If we get Dazed, it sort of stinks, but it is a good spot to resolve. They're all fine. I'd rather have the LED in hand over the Misty just in case of Surgical. Delver triggers. Does not flip. And sure thing. Volcanic Island down. We're going to draw the Misty. Play that out. Once again, not going to play Ponder into their Pyro. They reveal a Ponder. They cast. So they purposely held open a mana last turn. They're doing the same right now with a Delta. Let's see if they tap out or if they continue to hold open. I think I might want to shuffle away the Tendrils, but I'm not like confident in that drawing. That's the... They draw the second card off the Ponder. They wanted at least... Then they fetch. Delver gets in. They're at 17. They're getting kind of close to this Tendrils. Really good again. They find Mishra's Bauble. Let it strand back down to 4 cards. 16. I think this is a turn where I might want to go. They bobble, targeting themselves after they fetch. Another Delve. Okay. I'm going to cycle the Veil. I think this is a go turn. Another Ponder's Ring. Drawing off the bobble. Infernal 2. Dark Ritual. That resolves. We'll fetch. Ponder. See if we can find a discard spell. No discards. We'll settle for another Dark Ritual. Storm is through. Cabal Ritual. I think I'm supposed to do the thing where I lose to force Surgical. I'm going to force it down. So I could have gone Infernal Tutor, LED, Tendrils. They'd probably force, and then I could pass in. Maybe that's better than this line. Not sure. Sacrifice for rest. That other line might have been better because it plays around Surgical better. They force pitching Daze. Flashback. Fast and Flames. They have 2 in hand. They just had double. We weren't going to win. Okay, game 3. That Wasteland actually got us there because we opened up on the volcano. Try it again. 3, we are on the play. Okay. I like that carpet represents a continuous mana source. Everything that our opponent. Let's just go get the Bayou, which gives us both black and green. Obviously, that's what Bayou does. But when you look at her hand, our other a Force of Will. I'm sorry, Force of Negation. We're down to 5 cards. Misty Rainforest. Thoughtseize. See if I'm allowed to cast this Ponder or not. Interesting. Take their Ponder. We don't really care about the waste. We're flooded on land. Okay. They pass back. Play a land we didn't know about. Their thoughts. We cannot get a basic swamp here because we have the mist. So we'll grab an underground. Play the volcanic. Just to play around double. Thoughtseize. No, they're hand -1. It's another Pyroblast. I think we just have to take the date. Lion's Eye Diamond is probably our best draw. It would give us... That's annoying. It would have given us Ave Progenitor. Now we're just stuck in a weird spot. Alright, permanent black source in the face of waste. Pass. Play the Delta. They have 2 Pyroblasts in channel. I would like a Lion's Eye Diamond, please. It gives us double Thoughtseize, but not much else. Let's Infernal Tutor. Go grab another Dark Ritual. Pass the turn. So you might be saying, why not Ponder there to get it out of my hand for Hellbent? They have double Pyroblast. So 1, it's not going to resolve. 2, it helps them with Surveil and providing them with quality cards. A 3rd Wasteland. Oh my. That's particularly brutal. That is our only fetchable red source. So now we have to draw one of our 4 Lotus Petals or lines. Oh, geez. The multiple Wasteland runners. Brutal. They play land number 4, so they can now go get Mystic Sanctuary and put Force of Negation. Our window is closing here. Draw a card. This does not get a red source, as I mentioned. We do not have a red source to touch. There is no Badlands. There's not a second Volcanic. We grab a Steam Fence, another Volcanic, and the Sanctuary. Ooh, they put Ponder on top. That's interesting. They did not go for the Force of Negation. Surveil trigger happens. Get rid of a land. Oh no, this says they put a card on top. Weird. I thought I saw Delta go. So they take another Ponder here. They Surveil away at Delver. They're now Delirious, and I'm at 12. We're on a 4-turn clock. Really 3 turns. Still get damage in. They shuffled off that Ponder. They have 2 Pyroblasts in it. They go to 9. He's stack. Come on. No point in casting. We're going to go to 6. Okay, take a draw. Things are looking great. Brainstorm. Trail away another chance. Fisher's Bauble. Getting rid of a Volcanic. So we know that they kept at least 1 Pyroblast in. Ponder. They did get rid of 1 Pyro, so that means that I can try to resolve 1 of them. They shuffled off that Ponder. Counterbalance. I did not bring in a... Did I bring in Abrupt Decay? Apparently I did. Let's try to resolve this brain. We have a Tropical in our deck. The Bayou's been used, and we hit Tendrils. Weird spot to be. Gonna get rid of the Ponder, I think. But Ad Nauseam, or I'm sorry, put the Dark Ritual on top. I'm not sure if I want to keep it. They're so likely to keep a 1 on top. Alright, so the counterbalance is happening. Put me to 3. I think we're supposed to fetch. Grab the Trop. Take a draw. Fish Claw. Lotus Petal. That is result. Cabal Ritual. Pretty sure there's a 1 on top. They have 3 in hand. We know one of them is a Pyroblast. Cabal Ritual. Okay. Wishclaw Talisman. Storm is currently 4. They Force of Will. So Storm's 5. And I believe we have it. If their top card is a 1, pretty sure we have this. Use a red off the Lotus Petal. You just cast it using black mana. Past in Flames from 6. Past in Flames on the stack. We will now cast Cabal Ritual now that it's resolved. counterbalance trigger. Great, so that's from 7. This Cabal Ritual will be Storm 8. Let's play the Dark Ritual from hand just for Storm count. I also would like to confirm that it's surprise, surprise, and Tendrils of Agony. Take that, Delver. Take that. I believe that's match. I mean, it is pretty late here. Boom, we got a 4-1 with Daze. So Daze looked really good in that first match, and then after that it was a little bit awkward. I don't really have any strong feelings on it. I think that it probably needs more testing, if anything. But that's really my only thought. Just keep on testing. We did have the awkward draw of having both swans. There's only 2 in the deck, but we had both of them. Not having a second red fetchable was also a cost. That said, I don't even know if Antlers are playing 2 red swords. I don't think that they are, but it was a little bit weird. I don't know. Keep testing it. Is it better than an extra Veil of Summer? I'm not. I thought the sideboard was fine. I wouldn't touch it. But once again, thank you to Tyler for this donation deck. I do appreciate it. And let's open up some chests, see if we get any. We got an Eve Progenitor Ooze. Yes. Here's Guardianship. I already own one of these for online command, but oh well. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Thanks for watching. That's what I've got. Have a great day. Keep storming. Happy holiday. Hey, Bryant Cook here. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe, but also follow the social media channels down below. If you want to support this content directly, I would recommend going to theepicstorm.com/shop. And if you need a little bit of assistance with the Epic Storm to get to that next level, I would recommend going to theepicstorm.com/tutoring. Don't worry, there's more great content coming right up.